Across the Scottish Highlands, a long, narrow body of water cuts through the Great Glen like a dark seam. Loch Ness is 23 miles long, deep, cold, and holds more fresh water than all the lakes of England and Wales combined. For almost a century, it has also held one of the most persistent questions in modern folklore. What, if anything, has been seen here? The Loch Ness Monster is usually described as a large animal with a long neck and a dark back breaking the surface. But behind that familiar image is a complicated story built from eyewitness testimony, newspaper reports, photographs, sonar readings, and scientific surveys. This is not an investigation into whether people are lying. Most witnesses are ordinary people reporting something they believe they saw. The harder question is whether those reports can survive contact with physical evidence. The modern story begins in 1933, when a new road along the loch opened the shoreline. That same year, local hotel managers George and Margaret Spicer reported a large creature crossing the road. Soon after, other sightings followed. Newspapers gave the mystery a name, and Loch Ness became a case file. Eyewitness accounts have been central ever since. Witnesses describe a head and neck, humps, or a fast-moving wake. The reports vary, but many witnesses sound cautious, saying they saw something they could not identify, rather than claiming to have seen a monster. That distinction matters. Testimony is evidence of an experience, not necessarily of an unknown animal. A person may describe an event honestly, but misjudge distance, size, or speed. Loch Ness makes those errors easier. The water is vast, the light changes quickly, and wind can create sharp patterns. A floating log, swimming deer, or visiting seal can easily mislead the eye. Even boat wakes can travel long after the vessel has disappeared. Still, decades of reports from locals, tourists, fishermen, and scientists are difficult to ignore. The consistency of certain descriptions has kept the case alive. A dark object, a disturbance in calm water, and purposeful movement. But consistency cuts both ways. Once an image becomes famous, later witnesses may unconsciously frame what they saw through that image. The long-necked creature is now a global icon, appearing on souvenirs and road signs. A witness standing by the loch does not view the water in a cultural vacuum. They view it through a legend they already know. The most famous image, the 1934 surgeon's photograph, seemed to show a small head and long neck rising from the water. In 1994, it was exposed as a hoax involving a toy submarine. Its collapse damaged the visual case, but did not end the sightings. It merely separated the question. Some evidence was fraudulent, but were all experiences explained by fraud? Hard evidence is where the Loch Ness case becomes difficult. A breeding population of large unknown animals would need food, space, and numbers to sustain itself across generations. That group would leave signs, bodies, bones, clear photographs, biological traces, or reliable environmental DNA. Loch Ness is deep, reaching over 700 feet, and its dark peat-stained water and sediment-filled depths make searching difficult. These conditions explain why evidence is hard to obtain, but they do not remove the need for it. Sonar has been a serious tool in the search. Early expeditions conducted photographic watches and scanned below the surface with sonar. In 1987, Operation Deep Scan used a fleet of boats to scan the loch. The operation recorded several unexplained contacts, but no definitive proof of a large unknown animal. This pattern repeats. There are anomalies and intriguing readings, but an anomaly is not the same as identification. Sonar can detect fish, temperature layers, debris, or equipment artifacts. Without clear visual or biological confirmation, a contact remains just a contact. Photography and film face similar problems. Images from Loch Ness are often distant, grainy, or taken under poor conditions. Many show shapes, but shape alone is not species. A dark line may be a wave. A hump may be a log, a seal, or overlapping wakes. Modern cameras are everywhere, yet clear, close, unambiguous footage has not emerged. To skeptics, that absence is significant. To believers, the loch's size, weather, and rarity of sightings explain why proof remains elusive. In recent years, environmental DNA has brought a new kind of evidence. DNA traces shed by organisms can be collected from water samples to identify species. A major study of Loch Ness water found DNA from many known creatures, including fish, birds, mammals, and a large amount of eel DNA. It did not find evidence for a large reptile or prehistoric marine animal. The eel finding attracted attention because large eels have long been proposed as an explanation for some sightings. While European eels live in the loch, the study only confirmed their presence, not the existence of giant eels. The jump from eel DNA to monster-sized eel remains speculative. Other explanations remain possible. Misidentified animals, optical effects, wind patterns, boat wakes, hoaxes, and memory distortion. Each may account for some reports, but no single explanation covers them all. That is why Loch Ness endures. It is not a single event, but a century-long collection of claims, each with its own conditions, witnesses, and weaknesses. For investigators, the strongest eyewitness accounts feature multiple observers, clear weather, and prompt reporting. Even then, testimony cannot carry the full weight of the claim. Extraordinary animals require ordinary biological evidence, remains, repeated detection, clear imagery, or DNA. And yet, dismissing every witness as mistaken may be too simple.
People familiar with the water with no reason to seek publicity have seen things that disturb their expectations.
Their accounts are part of the record, telling us that the loch can still produce observations that feel unresolved. The Loch Ness Monster may be an undiscovered animal, a chain of misidentifications, a cultural mirror, or some combination of all three. The evidence does not allow a final verdict.
The hard data has not confirmed a monster, yet the eyewitness record has not disappeared, so the mystery remains suspended. On shore, people continue to watch the surface.
In laboratories and survey boats, researchers continue to measure what the water can prove. Between them lies Loch Ness itself, deep, dark, and indifferent to belief. Perhaps the most honest conclusion is also the most investigative one. Something has drawn human attention here for generations. Whether that something is biological, optical, psychological, or folkloric is still the question. This has been exposed. Begin the investigation.